Here's a nice picture I drew of old Croc himself, brothers and sisters. If you like this sort of thing and more like it, certainly remember to follow me on Facebook, Google+, the Twitter, and even Instagram.
One Piece, Chapter 169, The Kingdom's Strongest Warrior.
Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the tantalizing, the epic, the gripping tale of One Piece. Our last chapter saw us with, of course, the Straw Hats, Luffy and company, running from not only Baroque Works, but Smoker and in the Navy as well. And they all were to split up and then, of course, come back together and meet up at the Rain Dinners Casino, where they know, or they presume, Sir Crocodile to be. So that is how the chapter ended, with all of them minus Vivi. That's the only one that we did not see, kind of meeting up there and charging into the casino with Smoker hot on their tail. So again, that's where things leave off. And that's where we begin. And this is really a fun chapter, I think. There's a lot of cool things that happen here, and I'll just dive right into it. So we pick up right where we left off, as far as, of course, them being in the actual casino now. And Luffy, just being the simple-minded fool that he is, just starts yelling out, "Crocodile! Crocodile, where are you? I'm gonna kick your ass," type of deal. In my version, it says I'm gonna kick your butt, but regardless, you get the idea. And they're and then they're like, calm down. And I mean, and Nami and Usopp are telling him, hey, listen, calm down, dude. Okay, Crocodile's like a hero here. Everybody thinks that he's under the guise of this wonderful person, right, to the country, the savior of the country that helps people out and gets rid of pirates. So really, it's one of those things where, you don't want the customers and everybody else in the casino to turn on you, So that's what they're trying to explain to him. And then they're like, where's Vivi anyway? She's the only one that actually knows what he looks like. So, and of course, they don't know exactly, they're hoping nothing bad happened to Vivi. So Smoker then comes barreling in, right? And as this is happening, the assistant manager of the casino, is being told by another casino employee, hey, there's some people making a commotion over here. And he's like, hey, we're just going to, quietly escort them out of the building. So Smoker comes charging in, and they're trying to stop him from coming in because they're like, hey, there's no government officials allowed in here. So apparently that's one of the rules of the world government. In a casino, it's like one of those sacred places, I guess. Like here in the States, you can have a casino anywhere as long as it's deemed to be like Indian ground or whatever. So apparently that was our gift back to them after we stole their country for a few bottles of liquor. Back in the day was, hey, if you have, Indian blood or heritage, you can now build a casino on this part of the land because we deemed it to be this, this spiritual, this Indian sacred grounds. So I guess maybe a similar occurrence is going on here, and that's the only thing I can think of in real life to compare it to, is that, in fact, this casino, there's not to be government officials in there. So, of course, Smoker comes barreling in anyway. A few people try to stop and get in the way of Luffy. Luffy just charges right through him. And then we go and we see Miss All Sunday, and she goes and kind of talks to, and she's the manager, because the assistant manager with this wild Willy Wonka type hair goes, and he's like, and he looks like actually the Mad Hatter is what he looks like. But he goes and he says, manager, and she says, just escort them to the VIP room. And they're like, boss's orders, right? So then they go, and all of a sudden you see, and there's guys lined on both sides of this hallway, and they're like, okay, come on this way. And the next thing you see the next scene or whatever, and the Smoker's running after. He's like, I can get them all at once, right? Next scene you see, they're all in a jail cell, right? And you're like, what the hell? And then and then Nami's like, I can't believe you idiots fell for it and everything else. And then they go and they show this little flashback, and they show them just like a panel or two, them running down the hallway, and there's this sign, right? And it says to the left VIP, and to the right it says pirates, right? And Luffy's like, well, yeah, but wait, we're pirates, right? Or Usopp, whoever. And they go running that way, and then the next thing oh no, the floor dropped from under us. It's a trap. So they're caught in this cage. Luffy, though, we notice is very weak, and everybody's wondering why. Didn't you eat? Are you hungry? What's going on, Luffy? And so then Smoker goes and takes his cool looking staff that he's got, right, and just goes and nails Luffy. What the fuck? You want to fight in here? And they're about to go down, right? Luffy's like, that's it. And they keep calling him Smokeroo, Smokestack, Smokealicious, Smokey, whatever, right? So anyway, he goes and he pins Luffy down, and he's just holding the tip of the staff on his chest, And Luffy's laying there. He's like, I can't move. It's like when I was in the ocean. It's like when I fell in the water that time. So Smoker goes and tells them, he says, it's because the end of my staff has a sea prism attached to it. We find out that these sea prisms are actually what the world government winds up using for all the bars on their jail cells to keep devil fruit bearers in, because it basically it's more or less like the ocean solidified is what it is, because of the fact that devil fruit bearers can't swim, of course, and when they hit the ocean, it's not just like they can't swim, it's like the ocean, they actually become paralyzed, right? So there's a whole mythology behind it and everything, because now that I'm watching the anime, they've explained a little bit in it and everything else, but really kind of cool when you think about it, because and Smoker even says we don't know the full extent of the devil fruit, of someone who has eaten a devil fruit, their powers, right? So this is the only way we can really contain them for sure. So more or less we know that they're weak. They're weakened, and that's why Luffy is, of course, weakened. So everybody's about to just go down, Zoro is going to go and pull out his swords, and they're like, and now he's like, you can't fight in here. The swords aren't, you're not going to be able to fight in here. Not going to be able to do shit. What's the point, right? So then we go and we see kind of a zoomed out shot on the outside of the jail cell, and then Crocodile's like, yeah, you might as well all make friends, before you die. And just kind of like the villain thing, Dr. Evil or what have you. And so he's just sitting there like, Crocodile, So this is their first actual face-to-face meeting, which I think is significant always in any type of story like this, where you go and you have this crescendo towards this major boss. So this is certainly them meeting for the first time, and very, very cool. He says, and then he goes and he says, hey, Smoker, don't worry about it. You'll wind up. First of all, he knows Smoker's working independently, because he's like, the world government loves me, and they would never ever go and sick the Navy on me. Okay, I know about it, type of thing. And second of all, he's like, don't worry though, we'll report to them that you died heroically taking out the puny Straw Hat pirates. So then Luffy goes, and even though he knows these bars are made out of sea prisms, he's grabbing onto the bars, right? And this just shows me his just tenacity and his resolve, and he's just like, come on and fight me, Crocodile, And Crocodile goes and he says, yeah, I never thought you'd make it this far and that we'd actually meet in person, but we're still waiting for the guest of honor to arrive. And she'll be here shortly. My partner's getting her, or what have you. His underling, Miss All Sunday, has been sent, we presume, to get Vivi. So then we go and we see the last few pages of the chapter, and this is kind of cool because Vivi is out there and she's fought bravely against Baroque Works agents, but she's about to give in or get captured, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, man, something comes swooping out of the sky, and just there's machine guns blazing, and it looks like a flying big eagle, a falcon, something like that, and boom, next thing you know, Vivi gets swooped up because they're like, what the hell's going on? They're like, is it an eagle, or is that a falcon, a bird with machine guns? We see that it's Pell, right? Pell the Falcon, and it hits his deal, man. He's eaten one of only 5 fruits that are known to 5 devil fruits that are known to give you, the power to fly. I guess I don't know if there's differences or what, but he says it's only one of 5 known devil fruits that actually can make you fly. So he's able to transform into this giant frickin' falcon, which is really badass. So he scoops Vivi up and puts her up on the top of this, circular sort of Colosseum-looking building. And then he's like, just wait for me for a second, Vivi, princess. And he goes and he's dive bombing and he's taking out guys, and they're trying to shoot him to no effect, to no avail. He's taking them out. And then the next thing you know, we get this kind of back shot from, where Vivi's standing at the edge, out in the foreground or wherever in the background. In the foreground, Miss All Sunday appears, and she's like, oh, yeah, Miss, princess, and you fought well, but... And then she goes and she's like, Miss All Sunday, towards the end of the chapter there, she goes and she says, he's strong, but is he as strong as me? So, and we still don't know the full extent of Miss All Sunday's powers. So anyway... So Pell the Falcon winds up going and he's going to come back at him and he's close up to Vivi now and everything, and he's like, yeah, princess, are these the ones that want to destroy our country? And that's how the things end. That's how the chapter ends. So there's going to be some kind of showdown between the two of them. But the chapter is actually called Alabasta's Strongest Warrior, or the Strongest Warrior of Alabasta, something along those lines. And it escapes me right now, but I'm sure it'll be at the beginning of this video when I'm done. And even a couple of the Baroque Works agents say, no, that can't be. Pell the Falcon, the strongest warrior of Alabasta. So apparently, or the strongest man in Alabasta. So apparently he is a force to be reckoned with, and we shall see soon enough. So that will be my chapter question, actually, is without spoiling too much, of course, for me. What are your thoughts on Pell the Falcon? Certainly a few chapters ago, or just a couple chapters ago when he was introduced, I really didn't, I asked a question about what their, him and the other guy, Chaka's, strengths were as far as kind of being these underlings, and the king and everything else. But what's Pell's deal? I mean, he looks like he's really a force to be reckoned with. Is he? Leave your comments and your answer to that question in the comment box down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We'll look forward to catching you in the next one, Nation.
Here's another one of them Shichi Bukai fellas. Them 7 warlords of the sea. So we hope you like it, and certainly thank you for watching the videos. We'll catch you in the next one. Yep. Hey now.